TimeDog.com. Amazing made easy.
Hey everybody, this is Nick with TimeDog with our Spotlight video series. Today, we're talking with author, software developer, and now public speaker and parenting expert, Annie Fox. Annie, how are you?
I'm good, Nick. How's it going?
It's awesome. It's awesome. Thank you so much, Annie, for joining us from sunny California today. We'll go ahead and get right into it with some of the questions for you.
Okay.
So, Annie, how did you transition from being an educator, which is what you were originally focused on, to then becoming a software developer and now a blogger, a parenting expert, and a public speaker?
Well, I'll tell you the truth, Nick, I'm still an educator, and that's the way I see it. Maybe the form of what I'm doing is different, but the substance is the same. It always is. For me, it's been always about creating content for kids that helps them understand each other better and helps them get along with other people. So, it doesn't matter if I'm writing on Papyrus or blogging or talking to 500 kids in a gymnasium. It's all just kind of about the content and the message.
That's great. That's great. Is there any point of that you prefer doing over the other? Do you prefer just hanging out and writing code and developing the software, or do you really like getting up in front of everybody? Or you kind of like doing doing it all?
I'm not a coder, and that's what my husband does.
Got it.
What I really love to do is mix it up between the writing, which is a very kind of isolating experience, me and my thoughts, and being on Twitter and having live tweet chats, as well as actually going out in the real world face to face and talking to kids and parents and educators.
Awesome. Awesome. Annie, we noticed that you specialize in helping out teens and helping parents connect with teens. Do you want to talk to us a little bit about how you began doing that and your passions for helping teens?
Yeah, I'd love to. It probably came from the fact that I'm a mom, and when my kids, they're 6 years apart, but when the older one hit that phase, I thought, oh yeah, I know what this is, because I remembered it from my own childhood. And it seemed to me right at that time that there were a lot of kids who were kind of hanging out in chat rooms with not a lot to do, and if I could tap into the zeitgeist of their confusion when they hit that point in their lives by giving them some good solid advice and just an opportunity to be heard, then I would be fulfilling a need. So it started with my own kids and their friends. I was always kind of the cool mom that gave advice. But right at that moment, and we're talking about the fall of 1996, that's when I first launched my teen website. And it seems like it's been a good thing, because here it is 15 years later, and I still get daily email from teens from all around the world who seem very appreciative that there's someone out there who's willing to listen to them.
Do you think that that whole Dear Abby kind of setup that you have on your blog is very approachable for teens to open up? Do you think that's a good, still to this day, even with technology the way it is, that's still old school kind of, let me send you a letter to talk a little bit about some feelings I have, is a good way to approach teens?
It's a great question, because it's an anonymity, when they shoot me an email or a text message telling me they're in trouble, and if they're really confused and actually kind of stymied about what do I do, every single email has some version of the sentence, what should I do? And so because of the anonymity, as I say, and the fact that they don't feel judged, I guess I have a track record after 15 years of being someone who gives solid advice without being judgmental. And they need that. They need it so much that they're willing to take a leap of faith and just send an email or a message and saying, please help.
Right. Piggybacking off of that a little bit, do you want to tell us maybe of a situation that was very difficult for you, maybe a story or a proposal that came in from a teen and a tough spot that they were in?
Yeah, what comes to mind immediately is a teen who is worried about a friend. Maybe the friend is just involved in some kind of high-risk behavior. It could be that the friend is having unprotected sex with a lot of people, or the friend may have an eating disorder, or is abusing drugs or alcohol. And the person who writes to me says, wow, I'm really worried about my friend. I know this behavior is dangerous, and either I've tried to talk to him or her and they're not listening, or I'm afraid to bring it up, all that stuff. And the the problem with that kind of situation is that ultimately, as much as you love and care about your friend, you're not their mom or dad. And you can tell them how you feel, why you're worried. You could try to educate them with some facts about the kind of behavior they're doing and where it might lead. But ultimately, it's out of your hands. And that's a really hard thing for kids and adults to realize, that as much as we care about someone, ultimately they make their own choices.
Right. So it's great, Annie, that you're not only giving teens maybe some immediate pieces of advice that can help them right there, but you're also helping them understand what it is like to be an adult and how you can't always control everyone and make everyone's choices for them. That's really great.
Don't we wish you could do that, Nick? Gee, everybody who's annoying us, we just like snap our fingers and they start doing things the way we want them to.
Exactly.
It doesn't work that way.
Exactly. And so if they get that perspective from early on, that's really awesome for their development.
It helps.
So not only do you have your blog and your website, and you do public speaking and leading all these teens and young children as well as parents, but you also have Electric Eggplant and some mobile apps, which is really cool. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. Electric Eggplant is essentially me and my husband, David Fox. We are longtime multimedia producers and developers way back. And so when the iPad came out and we started looking at some of the content that we had in book form and more traditional form, we thought, wow, what a great opportunity for us to jump in here and actually use what we know about the way kids learn, what intrigues them, and put solutions and entertainment right in their hands. And so our first products are the Middle School Confidential series, which started out as a book series, which was published by my publisher, Free Spirit. And it's a comic book in part. So David developed a graphic novel comic book reader for the iPad, which allows you to zoom in right in panel by panel. There's enhanced sound effects, and kids love it. So we're hearing from middle school teachers who are actually using this with their students, and the kids are loving it.
That's great. That's great. Yeah, mobile apps, very popular right now. Seeing a lot of mobile apps geared towards children, anywhere from infants to teenagers, using as educational tools, just because technology is changing. iPads are becoming so popular. So that's awesome that you and your husband are bringing what you've been doing for years to a brand new medium to reach more people and make it super easy and fun for you to reach out to kids and have them enjoy the content that you guys create. All those fun stories and all the different lessons that they learn with that. So
yeah,
that's great.
And this just the one thing I want to say is that you could say it's educational, and when you say, oh, an educational app, it's going to teach my kid how to do math better. But the stuff that we deal in is called social intelligence. It's a different kind of intelligence. It's the way we get along with people or not. And it's totally a key to success in adult life. We all know that.
Definitely.
So we start teaching kids that at a younger age, so much the better.
Definitely. Focusing on emotions, communication, understanding, patience, and relationships.
Exactly.
That's great. Well, Annie, it was a blast having you here. We're so happy. If you guys want some more information on Annie Fox, or if you want to hire her for an event, you can go ahead and visit www.anniefox.com, tweet Annie Fox at Annie Fox on Twitter, and check out electriceggplant.com for some awesome mobile apps for your kids and your family. Annie, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for the opportunity, Nick. Have a good one.
Thank you.